Hey guys, I wanted to show you my latest improvements and modifications to this RedCat RS10 XT. I drove it till I broke it, basically. And where I'm crawling, if you fall off, you take a big fall, and you could tumble. Tumbled about 20 foot down a hill, and it pretty much tore up the linkage that I had made. So I was like, yeah, putting the shock mount on the link just isn't going to work for a bent link at all. It's too knock-kneed. It just creates too many problems, and you just don't get the kind of action that you really need. You need a consistent action. You can't have the shock one place one time and one place another time. So I fabricated these little plates here. Okay, multiple shock points so I could try out different heights. Okay, right now I've got it basically dead flat, but it is still tipped up. Okay, I'll show you what I mean by tipped up. Okay, see, it's a little bent down towards the front, right? And I had to do a whole bunch of weird things to make it work so that the shock wouldn't be all over the place, rubbing on this when it articulates. Didn't want the spring to be touching the link at all. Okay, and it's about the same articulation as you get when it's mounted to the link. And see, you got a nice action. I've got long bars on the triangulation, long links on the triangulation. Okay. I can move this out or in. I can move the shock around so I can get different heights. I want you to see how the motor clears the little piece of metal I made. See? And these are Wraith shocks, axial Wraith shocks. They work really nice, except they're already leaking oil all over the place. I got oil all over from them. So these shocks do not hold oil very well. But for now, they are doing the job. Just thought I'd show that to you guys. The bent links, see, they're not too wiggly because I've got a little piece of fuel line up here that keeps them from wiggling around too much. And now I don't have to worry about the bent links doing anything weird because they're not taking any force anymore. Used a longer bolt here. Had to swap out to bigger ends because these have little tiny ends for like M2.5 instead of M3. So I had to swap these ends out, put the little ends up here on this, all kinds of weird stuff. Had to put some nuts on here to space this out. Also, because this is not a swivel, it's a rubber piece. It's like a rubber grommet that goes through it. I wanted to have some flex. I didn't want to squish that too hard. So to get a real secure mounting, you had to have a nut. To nut, so I could actually get that to lock down, and then still have the proper amount of play. A lot of fiddling around, a lot of fooling around. But yeah, that's my shock to the axle mod for the back. This isn't going to work in the front, I don't think, at all. Also, I've seen people that put the bar way up high and then run the shock straight down. What happens when you run your shock straight down, you're only getting that 1 inch. You go from 4-inch shock to a 3-inch shock. That's all you're going to get. When you put your shock at an angle, you're increasing your articulation. You're getting more like double that. It's just like when you take a piece of wood and you cut it on a 45. You'll notice that the 45 is twice as long as a straight cut. So if you had a 1-inch piece of wood, you cut it on a 45, you're going to get a 2-inch edge on the 45. It's the same thing when you put your shocks at an angle. The more of an angle you have, the more travel your suspension is going to have. Up to a certain point. Obviously, you can't have the shocks, you know, completely, ridiculously forward, or you're going to have some sort of camming action like on a Traxxas Summit or something. But anyway, yeah, that's that. That's how that works. So I'd show it to you guys. Plus, I think the links look a heck of a lot nicer without some hokey shock mount on there. Haven't had a chance to take it out to run. I've got everything stripped off of it because I'm going to waterproof my electronics next. Got to take my servo apart, all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to show you the actual suspension, not the vehicle completely put together. But this gives you some clearance, so when you're coming off a rock, see how it can hang on something like that, which is kind of nice when you're headed down. When you have a straight link, you can get a little bite, but you're going to hit the straight link here, it just drags, and the bent part starts right where the tire starts. So I think it's going to be pretty good. I haven't had a chance to test it yet, but I did think I'd just go ahead and show it to you guys. Thanks for watching. Get out there and crawl.